Hi, my name is Andrew. I am a polyglot, which means I speak several languages. I am not a linguist. A linguist is somebody who studies linguistics professionally. However, I do dabble in linguistics. We're going to talk about a subject that's very controversial for linguists, and the way I'm going to start that is by asking you a question. A question that you probably think you know the answer to, but you certainly do not. Don't worry, I don't know the answer either, and neither do those actual linguists. Here's the question. What's a language? Oh, that's easy, you say. A language is a type of speech. Oh, but not so fast. Linguists use two words that are important here. Language and dialect. Language describes a language, whereas dialect describes some subset of that language. For instance, the California dialect of English, or Queen's English, is a dialect of English. It's a subset of British English. But where do you draw the distinction between language and dialect? Languages don't arrange themselves in pretty little circles in which you have dialects. A good example of this would be French and Italian. You can say very easily that French and Italian sound very different from each other. But what if I told you right where those two countries meet, northern Italy, southern France, there are dialects of the two languages that meet and converge until you can't really tell by looking at it and listening to it whether you're hearing Italian or French. And then going further into Italian's so-called dialects are so different you can't necessarily understand them if you speak another one. Another huge example of that would be Chinese. We refer to all varieties of Chinese as being a single language usually. However, that's simply not useful because somebody speaking Mandarin can't understand somebody speaking Cantonese. The reason we think of them as one language is, one, they're spoken in China mostly, and two, they all are written pretty much the same way. They use the same writing system. But that would be like us saying that French and Spanish are the same language because in the medieval ages a lot of stuff was written in Latin for both of them. It doesn't mean they're the same. So there's a little food for thought. The more I dabble in linguistics, the more I find out that linguistics is the study of how little we as people know about how we as people think and talk. The more you learn about language, the more you realize that you don't know all that much about language. Certain rules you think are normal, like having tenses. That seems to be normal to us in English. I went, I'm going, I will go, so on and so forth. In Mandarin Chinese, they don't have any tenses. Zero. In Finnish, they have a past and a present, but no future tense. It's really complicated, this beautiful thing we call language, this thing that we don't know what it is. We know we talk to each other, we know we can understand each other sometimes, and sometimes we can't. So, stick around on this channel. We're going to talk more about linguistics. I also have some videos in Bulgarian or about Bulgarian, and I have some videos I'm going to be releasing where I talk more in depth about other languages and in other languages. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.